And 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight I have Carl, Mus, Andy, and George. And we are the Monday Blues, coming to you off the back of a loss, our first loss in 5 weeks to the GWS Giants. The Giants beat us 18-8, 116 to 16-8, 104. An interesting game. A few changes in the list and quite a bit to talk through. But before we do that, and before we go around the grounds, I'm going to quickly throw it over to George.
Thank you, Amal. Yes, big shout out to our sponsor, bluescrypto.com. Just popping the details in the chat there. Whether you're new to investing or a seasoned investor, do suss out bluescrypto.com. It's run by the gentleman Ur Koken, who actually has not only just been in the industry for a long time, but also his day-to-day is network architecture and cybersecurity. So it's actually his day-to-day, his forte. So it's created a really cool fan token, basically the cryptocurrency that it's an innovative way to, I guess, connect to your sporting team, the Mighty Blues, while also being part of course, the crypto market. Really cool enhancements recently, including a Web3 marketplace where you can actually trade in the Blues crypto coin for goods as well. So really cool opportunity. Do get around bluescrypto.com on all the socials, and he's got a AMA Ask Me Anything session every Wednesday 9 p.m. Thanks, Ur, and thanks bluescrypto.com.
Straight back at you, George. How was the weekend?
Look, it was smack bang right in the middle of the weekend, the Saturday night. It's actually the missus' birthday. She's probably watching downstairs. Shout out to you. Happy birthday. So we had that on the Sunday, but the Saturday, was I don't know. I kind of didn't put a dampener on the weekend. I'll say like it was. I don't know how to feel. I don't know. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the sort of the season as a whole, and I put it down to one of those nights, But yeah, look, we look at the bigger picture. We came out absolutely blistering in the first quarter, and we'll talk about that as well. But bang average after that, and time to lick the wounds and pounce on the doggies. I'm just looking forward to that, to be honest. So, how about you, boys?
Yeah, probably the same. It's you know what, you look back and you're not frustrated about the loss. It's more the lead that we got, and then we coughed that up. But yeah, I guess it happens. It's footy. I mean, we had a good run. It was bound to end sometime, but it's good that it happened now, I guess, not in finals. So, like you said, Georgie, you lick the wounds and we wait till this weekend. Moss?
Too much licking going on here. Bit disappointed, but I did say we might need a little touch up, but I don't think it was that. I think we just went back to playing 2 quarters of footy. Can't win a game with 2 quarters of footy. But yeah, no panic button just yet. I think we're okay, but you got to play 4 quarters. Andy?
We're done. Can't win the flag. It was you don't want to lose. I think, as Carl said, it was the fact that we were up by 6.5, 7 goals. Like, it's concerning that we can switch off so quick. It's very concerning. It happened against Sydney, and it kind of happened against Melbourne. We were very lucky to beat Melbourne in the end, right? We've got this, I don't know what it is. We can't get our hands on the ball. Is it the pressure? We can't absorb, like a tsunami of pressure. I don't want to use the word tsunami because Giants, but like it was a wave of pressure, and we just couldn't keep up. It's a weird one. I wasn't concerned at all after the Sydney one. At all. And you boys know, everyone was losing it. I was like, it's all right, relax. It's concerning that it happened twice in just over a month. It's been what, 5 or 6 games since the Sydney
Five
game?
on the trot, five on the trot,
Sydney-
Yeah.
and then the
since
bye.
Sydney
So
game. Yeah.
it's been a little while. We had a good run.
So it's just concerning that we've still got that in our game with a full strength team. That was as strong as we could probably get. There was some selection issues. Maybe looking back, maybe we didn't get it right at the selection table with leaving Georgie Hewitt out, playing Cottrell, Hollins, Akers, and even Fantasia was playing on the wing. So he was playing a wingman's role. I don't know. Maybe we got it wrong, but I think Carl said it. You'd rather cop the loss now than in finals, and take the lesson now rather than later. Yeah, like this is a big wake up call. This is a massive wake up call. That the fact that we can go from being A+ to a D- F in the space of like a quarter. Look, not even. It was a quarter time break. It was a quarter time break.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? We know how quick we can turn it on, but it's scary that we can also turn it off that quick. So, what about you, Omar?
Yeah, it's similar sort of feels from the game. I thought, we got out of the blocks hot. And after the first couple of goals, Harry kicks 2 or 3, and you kind of just sit back on the couch, hands in your pockets, and you're just like, yep, this is brilliant. This is good. Ordered the pizzas came. It was brilliant. And then, the second quarter hits, and it's just a completely different outfit, or maybe just GWS turns it on. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it all. But then, yeah, we lost. We lost in a bad way. Or bad again, like Carl said, right? You don't really care that it's a loss because it doesn't impact our season too much in the grand scheme of things because we still remain second and everything like that. It's more so how we lost it, right? We had the best quarter of any team this season, and then we backed that up with the worst quarter from any team this season. I'm making that up. That's an over-exaggeration. But, frustrated with the way that we lost, not really frustrated with the loss overall and what that means for the season. And then I had to wake up next morning, go play golf because that's the only day I could. And it was 0 degrees in Cranbourne, literally 0 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was freaking freezing. Didn't want to be there. And maybe that's how Carlton felt up in Sydney playing GWS. They didn't really want to be there. I don't know. But
it's just shit. We put ourselves in a shit position now. Like if we win, we keep that little bit of breathing room. It's like
Sydney,
Sydney
as well.
Yeah, the fact that Sydney lost as well, it's like, man, we could have been a game off first.
Yeah.
It's just
missed opportunity.
It was a good way to put it. Missed opportunity, and it's just a little bit of a concern for me. I don't know. There's a few players that when the pressure hits, they're just, I don't know. And we'll get into, there's a big name I want to discuss, and
one in particular.
I'm sure you know. And we're gonna cop it. We're gonna cop it for bringing this guy up again. But we'll go.
But it has to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
All right. Well, let's start. Let's start with whoever this person is. Is it Patrick Cripps?
It's Charlie Curnow, bro. it's Charlie. Paddy Cripps. We'll get into Cripper later. He's a beast. But
can I start with Curnow? Can I please start with Curnow?
Because you go.
The way he approaches a marking contest does my fucking head in. What are you doing? Why are you trying to wrestle for every single fucking mark? Stop. You've got pace. You've got strength. They're not going to be able to outbody you. Go in for the mark head on. Stop trying to bloody get your man in a rear naked fucking choke and then mark it. Stop. And then because he's rear naked choke, this one of these ones.
UFC.
And then what pisses me off is that he uses up all of his energy in that marking contest, and then when the ball spills down, his running ability is next to 0. He's like jogging, and his man is sprinting away from him.
There were rumors. Contest.
There were
rumors. Regardless, yeah.
Oh, sorry. There were rumors circulating that he rolled his ankle or something before the game, and he had to go through a fitness test before the game. and people are saying that. But we've said this all year that his second efforts have been quite disappointing, and he did pick it up. He did start to play a more team branded game over the last few weeks, apart from the Richmond game, maybe. But I feel like he's quick to. You don't want to pot a bloke, right? Like, this isn't a pot. This is just an observation. So for all you sensitive people,
Snowflakes,
just chill. Like, I'm not bagging the bloke out, but like, he doesn't. His second efforts sometimes are non-existent, and it's frustrating because Harry Mackay tries his heart out week in, week out, and when he kicks a point, he cops it from pillar to post. But you can't talk about Charlie without some of our sensitive supporters just losing their fucking minds. Like, it's okay to observe and to commentate and to like critique a player on your team. We had this convo last week. I don't know. I feel like Charlie should be getting treated the way we treat any player, the way we've treated Durden, the way we've treated Fantasia. If their efforts aren't good enough and they're not there, why can't we talk about it? Like, and I think that conversation needs to be had about Charlie. Yes, he's leading the Coleman. We're not in this to win a fucking another Coleman. We're in it to win a premiership. And he doesn't play team footy a lot of the times. He just doesn't. And if you're convinced that he does, then I suggest taking up another sport. Because if you know anything about footy, anything at all, you don't even have to play it. You can see that when his motivation's off, it's off. Like, it is off. And that's the frustrating thing for me. How do you boys feel about Charlie at the moment? Charlie's game, not Charlie personally. Again. Oh,
no.
Lazy.
Yeah. His body language is piss poor. Like, all he has to do, not tell him to mark every ball, but he just needs to bring it to ground and contest properly. Like Amal said, not try and wrestle before when the ball's 50, 100 meters out. So just wait, lead, get on the front. When's the last time he took a lead and took an actual mark?
Like in the 50?
Yeah.
I can't tell you off the top of my head, to be honest.
Harry does it well now.
Yeah.
Harry does.
Harry's our premier forward.
Yeah.
Agreed. Wow. Agreed.
I'm not going to pivot and go slightly different. I'm tipping him to explode this week, personally. I think he loves playing against the doggies. I just feel like he's going to absolutely grab a game by the neck and explode. But I say that because we're absolutely blessed to have Charlie. Like, you got to, on one hand, right, and this is why I think it's built up this this sort of shield or firewall, like you can't talk about Charlie, because the guys had obviously the really bad run, and then he's come back and won back-to-back Colemans, which is insane, right? That's Scotty Tompkins.
Sorry, guys.
That's fine.
It is a bit like that.
So he's come and won back-to-back Colemans in. I don't think those seasons are spoken about enough, personally, for a player that has come back. Carl's got the disco lights going. Hit it again, Carl. Anyway, Charlie. So
bring Carl on.
You can't understate those two seasons, and what he done right after coming back from what he did. It just shows the freak and natural talent that he is. And I think when you think about why he's leading the Coleman, I actually think that this year, and we've spoken about it time and time again, I don't really think he's gotten out of third gear at all this year. For moments he has. Like, remember Andy Brisbane at the Gabba after halftime in the third quarter, he looked like a man that was, had fingers pointed at him, and he unleashed for that quarter and the fourth quarter. But besides a few isolated moments across the year, I really don't think he's ever gotten out of that second or third gear. And out of pure, natural, insane talent, he's leading the Coleman. Like, you see that mark and then that spear kick to Harry in the square. He does it with Owies. He does it with Harry. Like, his talent is undeniable. He's an absolute gun. I personally got him down to explode this week against the doggies. I reckon he's going to, have a few words, maybe even internally, just challenge the effort and the motivation. I also think he might be even be carrying something but I don't think the club. I think the club, when it comes to medical reasons and injuries and whatnot, I think there's. I'm not going to say they've been lying to us, but I think there's been a few things that have been questionable over the last couple of years, right? But you think of like if he's rolled his ankle or he said I'm not, I don't think he'd put his hand up and say I don't feel 100% not going to play. He's going to go out there. Oh, yeah, absolutely, I want to play. If he's carrying something, is it worth giving him a spell? I don't know. It doesn't look like with his second and third efforts that they don't look non-existent. But compared to like a Harry, because you're going to compare him to the next key forward that we've got. You look at Harry and his chasing; he's just absolutely immense. And I don't want to just pot Charlie because there were a lot of players going through the motions. There was passages in that second or third where some of the players there was more passengers than a Mumbai train, right? It was, but anyway, there was or a car train anyway. Come on, pull up. I just think that he's not. We haven't seen the best of him this year, besides pockets and patches. Feel like he might be carrying something. If he is, I don't think we rest him. I don't know. Like, is it? It's almost like, is it the player's choice, is the boss's choice? I think he'll be masking it. He'll be like, no, I'm good to go. I feel good. It doesn't look.
I'm going to argue that, George.
Tell me.
Argue that. Let's look at. I'd love to have a breakdown of his first, second versus his third and fourth quarters for the year. So if you're carrying an injury, you think you'd start better than the way you finish. I don't know. It just doesn't match up for me. For me, injury is one thing. If you're carrying a niggle, we've seen players do it, but the body language speaks volumes for me.
And for me, for this game, like I'm Charlie aside, for this game, there in the second and third quarter, there were 17 goals kicked, and the Giants kicked 14 of them. So I don't want to pin that on him because there was a lot of players that were accountable for that. But 14 of 17 goals kicked in the second and the third. And yes, partly when we were going forward and some of the decision making and whatnot was a bit choppy, but the contest work, Buckley had him covered. Like it just wasn't his night. It wasn't his night. But there's been too many times where I guess you know when he's not kicking those goals or when we're not winning, you're gonna look for something. And there were a few contests, of course, where I think when the ball hit the ground, seemed a little bit flat-footed. I don't know. It's something like I'm putting it out there right now. I reckon he's going to have a massive one on Saturday. Can't wait.
I'm gonna agree with Moose, bro. And I'm going to disagree with you on a couple points you made. You made some good points, but I just got to disagree with you, bro. But his second efforts were non-existent on the weekend. Like, I don't know if it's mental or physical. If he's carrying an injury, cool. Say something. The club needs to let us know. Like, they have to
shouldn't be out there.
Like, it's not just that. No. Because
he shouldn't be out there. We're in a position now where we're trying to fight for top four. Shouldn't be out there. I reckon he's thinking of, I'm going for my third Coleman. Don't be selfish. If you're not fit, don't play. That's my take.
Save yourself for finals.
Bro.
Yeah.
We're in a great spot.
I'm not copping that injury. We're not looking for an excuse. There's no excuse.
He probably isn't.
He's got a lot to prove, bro. Like if you're Charlie, right, and you're winning all these individual awards and fans, clap you louder than any other player when they call your name out before a game and kids love you. After that final series last year, and bro, people will sit there and say, "Oh, he was double teamed and this and that." Bro, is he the only forward in the league that gets double teamed? Like, I feel like he's just held to a different level of. Yes, I understand he's been injured. Yes, I respect everything he's done, but it's inexcusable to have those kinds of lack of effort. Like, it's inexcusable for me. And I don't care like who you are. Like, if you're not, bro, I potted Cripper last year. He's my favorite player. He's my favorite Carlton player ever. But when things weren't going right and he looked disinterested, I said that, and then we ended up fucking going on a sick run. I hope to God, bro, he comes out and has a great week this week, Georgie, right? I hope to God he does. But what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything unless he backs it up the next week.
Back it up.
And then the week after, and then the week after, right? Like, all right, an occasional off week, cool. He's had a strange season. He's had a very, very strange season. So
Isn't it weird how we say like it truly like I think he's had a strange season in the sense that I literally feel like he has not had a massive breakout game, yet he's leading the Coleman. Like, and again, not talking about individual odds, but isn't that like is that a luxury or is that are the numbers lying to us? Are the like I was looking at a few numbers separate to Curnow and the goal kicking. Like I was looking at why and how they sort of, 14 of 17 goals in the second and third. And we could not, what was concerning for me, I know we talked about concerns earlier, we could not halt the momentum, right? So they're steamrolling us. And it seemed like we didn't either have an answer through a tactical change or just some harder efforts. And then I was looking at Telstra Tracker just out of curiosity, right? And they had covered 8 kilometers more in distance and then 50 kilometers more in sprints. It was something like 48 or 50 kilometers more in sprints. So it's like the efforts were just, and it just seemed like there were more of them on the field. Like, is someone going to do a head count? Because they were everywhere, right? And like, again, I don't want to use injuries as an excuse as well, but I think we'll talk about how critical Leaders is. When he goes down, right, I feel like we have so much single player dependency in his position. And him and TDK getting hurt was like the chink in the armor. It just we looked at sea, and
if I'm the doggies this week, sorry, Georgie.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying if I'm the doggies this week, I'm corking Wiedering in the first quarter. Our defense actually just crumbles, bro. And it's like GWS took a carbon copy of what happened against Sydney. It's like they knew, all right, we've got to cork Weeders now. That's it. That's our plan.
Well,
if they start getting
4.
Us,
he's had about 3 or 4 in the last couple of months. Like, and every time he goes down, it's basically
chaos.
You look at our run, yeah. And I know we've missed it. A quick couple of shout outs. Oz, can we beat the Bulldogs this weekend? Thoughts? Tune in Thursday 9 p.m. I'm back.
We'll win by 100 points, bro.
Absolutely, mate.
200th. Shout out Morris. We need to stop making injuries for these players. I'm not sure if it's injuries or excuses.
No, excuses. You put excuses further down.
There it is. There, just for proof. Excuses. I don't want to single him out because I feel like there were a number of other players that also should be taking a little bit of a rap for it. And I'm not overly concerned in the grand scheme of things. I think scoreline was a bit flattering for us, noting the performance. I didn't really tell the story. Like if you look at it in isolation, I don't think it tells a story. Glad we didn't suffer a percentage loss, but yeah, I don't know. If I take one real good positive out of it, loved Harry's kicking. Loved his game. Loved his kicking. I think he ended up on 5 straight. Yeah. Great. Great that he took that initiative because, had he had an off night as well, could have been a bit ugly. But I'm glad for him. The second efforts leaves you wanting with Charlie, definitely. But I fully back the guy. I put everything on it. The guy is going to have an absolute blinder.
I just want to call out J-Bag is in the comments having an absolute meltdown because we're like having a chat about Charlie. Bro, we're not attacking him. Like, we're just merely pointing out what we're seeing. Like, I don't understand how people can't see that. Like, why can't we critique a fucking player? I don't know why our supporters are so sensitive. Like, what is it? Is it because he done his knees? Like, I don't understand why. Like, J-Bags, please tell me why you're so sensitive about Charlie. I don't understand. We will get to other players. Like, this is a podcast, bro. It's a review. We're reviewing. He's a key part of our team. He's the key part of our team. If you all love him so much, then you understand the importance of him not playing his fucking role. So just chill. We're not bagging him out. We're just pointing out where he could improve and where he should improve. Like, we're in the business to win a flag now. We're not in the business for just rocking up and being happy for a bloke leading the Coleman. He's won 2. Like, we want a premiership now. So people need to just chill out. It's fine. We'll be all right. Like, but we're allowed to talk about when a player isn't playing. It just cooks me, man. I've had a bad day, boys. I've had a fucking bad day.
Get it off your chest. Good.
Just a shit day, boys.
Shout out to everyone. And Shout out to everyone in the chat though. It's absolutely been going off. Love the contributions. Hit the like button if you haven't done already.
If you want Charlie to play good, hit the like button.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope he comes out next week and kicks 12. Like, we're not bagging him out.
Subtle.
It's yeah. I again this season in compared to the last couple is it like I think you used the word strange, Andy, earlier. It is a strange one. I look at the games and he's had pockets of brilliance in isolation, and I don't really recall a game where like from start to finish, you like he was BOG. He was an absolute weapon. He's had pockets of brilliance in each of these games. And remember, there was, I think, up until a few weeks ago, they showed, I remember during a game, they showed his stats quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. And as you called it out earlier, Mus, it's like he turns up after the halftime oranges, right?
Yep.
So I don't know, he just gets a bit of a rocket or just has the halftime orange and then he's perked up. But yeah, I don't know. It's I'd like to see him do well, not only this week, but at the end of the day, for us as supporters after last year, when it does matter in September, I think, Andy, you mentioned it earlier, he probably took a lot of that personally. I don't think he's really shown it throughout the season, but hey, if he saves it all up, I don't care if he wins the Coleman or not, if he saves it all up and comes out in September and absolutely turns it on, I couldn't give a shit.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
But I want him to turn it on for me, it's effort. If he's trying and he's not scoring, bro, well, like, good on you, bro. Like, you know, you're having a crack. All right, sweet. But imagine being his teammate and seeing his lack of like want, you know? So I don't know, bro. People are going to have sook about it, and you can sook about it all you fucking like, man.
You know, I think it is. I think because they've been so shit for so long, we're all used to, we got Mark of the Year. Oh, we won a Coleman. Everyone's just used to individual awards. We're at a position flag. We want a flag.
I want that back-to-back Curnow t-shirt. I'm joking. Yeah, no, honestly, turn it on in September, but I just saw a comment. Welcome back, Jay Taylor. He's been missing for a few weeks. Who would you rather be stuck in a forest with? And you bagging Curnow. Oh, my God. Where's the bear? Where's the bear?
Can we talk about our ruck? Because TDK was taught a lesson. I understand he got hurt and all that. Supporters, people in the chat, relax. I'm not begging him out. Sooks, bro. Sooks. Actual adults that are sooks. Anyway, should we have played Pitto with TDK again?
Yes, absolutely. It was the game for it.
Yes. However, I feel like after he got injured, he killed the first quarter. I feel after
he was always going to get manhandled, bro. He was always
but after that first quarter, he went downhill. You could tell he was sore.
He had a bunch of clearances. He done well. That was it Kieran Briggs?
I think it was just
Briggs taught him a ruck lesson.
Bro, Briggs is a ruckman, yeah, like a ruckman.
Yeah,
he's built like a bull. Solid.
Like TDK had a bunch of clearances as well. He done well, but he was manhandled towards the end. He was getting pushed off it, right?
Yeah.
It felt like the TDK of a couple of years ago.
I just think we always said that Pitto would be horses for courses, and I feel like this was the course. You know, it worked last time. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Pitto did all right last week against Richmond, and I was like, I wasn't a fan of him coming in against Richmond. I wasn't a fan of resting TDK, but maybe TDK carried an injury as well coming in. Maybe that's why he was omitted last week. But I don't know. I just thought it would have been a great game to have Pitto playing. Tito.
Tito would have been brilliant. The midfield mix. Now, obviously, we didn't have. We decided not to play George Hewitt. Kennedy, I can't remember if Kennedy spent any time in the midfield or whether he spent more time up half forward, but we had Cripps in there, we had Walsh in there, Chera, and then Blake Acres, and who was the other one? Ollie Hollins, who just looks like he needs a spell. This, in my opinion, I think I called it out in the preview. It seems like Voss is he's trying to find and Musi called that a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This midfield mix didn't work, in my opinion, aside from the first quarter. But then GWS quickly figures this out. They put numbers into the stoppage and speed on the ball, and we just crumbled.
Yeah.
Absolutely crumbled. So I don't know. I'm still not sold on Chera.
Nah, Chera's good.
Look, he's going to take time to build them, Al. He's going to definitely take time to build it. I was the first person to say, hey.
I'm asking Mal, what? Sorry, you're delayed hard for me.
What is he? 2 or 3 games in now?
2.
This was his second game. No, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on him, but I'm still not seeing how he fits in with the Cripps Walsh combination at the moment. I know I said that he would be the perfect kick into our forward 50. He's got that penetrating kick. He's very accurate with it, very silky with it, but he hasn't shown it yet.
I thought he did really well against Richmond.
Richmond was good, yeah, but Richmond's also 17th.
I think a lot of the midfield group in this particular game against the Giants didn't collectively step up when the pressure was on, as a collective, as a group. So it reminded me of those games a few years ago when it was, you remember, Cripps or bust. And Cripps had an awesome first half kicking goals. How good was that second goal? Was it the second goal?
Yeah, crazy.
Great play. Still got some coaches' votes and whatnot. Probably get it 1 vote for that game on the Brownlow. But I felt like as a collective, the rest of the midfield did not step up to alleviate some of that pressure. Because was it the Essendon game, if I recall, where him and Walsh didn't have absolute huge ones, but everyone done their bit to help out throughout the game. Ollie jumped in, he had 3 goals. He had a huge game as well. I was perplexed with the Hewitt non-inclusion, and I was also, in hindsight, we thought about it's going to be a game where we have a lot of run, even though we got outdistanced. Cotter's coming straight in hindsight without a VFL game or a bit of run in the legs. Versus having a Hewitt in there. I mean, look, again, Cotters is going to get, I don't think he hit the 15-kilometre mark, but he's going to give you those kilometres, yet we were outrun and outpaced. But in hindsight, did we get a couple of those decisions wrong?
Yeah. Cotters definitely wrong.
Yeah, I think we, like in hindsight, yeah. Go,
Carl. Well, last 2 weeks have been great. Like, I'd rather Cotters over Ollie Hollands, but over the last 2 weeks has been great. I wouldn't have brought Cottrell in. I would have left Hewitt because we missed it. That style that he played is exactly what we needed on the weekend.
Yeah,
and having him out hurt us a lot.
Yeah, I think
that was a bad one.
I think Jay Taylor puts it perfectly, right? So I'll track his comments up. Okay, boys, non-supporter here, as you know, so I can be impartial. Walsh was always going to cop a tag. Walsh has been really good the last couple of weeks. To drop Hewitt and play all of Cottrell off no prep, Hollands, Fantasia, up the ground, Akers was a mistake. Effectively robbed your midfield mix for wingmen.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
That's what I said at the start.
Yeah.
Like we played too many of the same player.
Yeah.
And like we literally, like, we've smashed teams by our contested ball use, and we've just taken that away, like by dropping someone like Hewitt. So I don't know. It's like we've gone away from that contested game and have focused a lot on turnover. We're up by 7 goals. Like, at the end of the day, we were up by 7 goals. It works.
Yeah.
But doesn't hold up. Well,
no wonder pressure comes on, clearly.
When it doesn't hold up, it really doesn't hold up.
Crumble fast.
So they just got back into the game so quick.
Too quick.
So quick. Usually we do get up by 5-6 goals. We've got this knack of getting up by 5 or 6 goals and then conceding 2 or 3 and then going back up, and it never looked likely until the last 5 minutes where I thought, well, maybe. But
we left it too late.
Yeah.
We got to give credit.
Sorry, Malika.
We got to give credit to GWS's game style on the night as well. Like, they played some fast, explosive, just really nice to watch footy. Now, it sucked watching it as a Carlton supporter, but I'm sure neutrals watching that game would have been like, fuck, these guys are playing some serious footy against the Blues right now. Because
it helps when the opposition isn't sticking tackles, isn't like you're going to look great.
Yeah.
You're going to look great when the pressure just like I don't know what our pressure reading was in the second, especially the second and third, but wouldn't have been great. No way. Like I backed Ollie Hollands last week, and he comes out and has what a shocking game.
He tackles.
He can't tackle,
Well,
but he's all he is, right? Like he's so small, he's so skinny, he's young. Like I get it, but I just think it's either Ollie or Potter.
He's still an AFL player, but
yeah. You got to stick those tackles, right? And he just could not stick anything. And I said, yeah, he's running, and all that's good. And I backed Cotters as well. He had a shocker, but again,
there's a lot of shockers.
One game back, the game changed for me when they like made Newman accountable. For me, they locked down on Newman, and we just, with Weeders off the ground as well, or feeling the way he was feeling. McGovern isn't that guy that's going to cover Wiedering. So maybe we are a really good key defender down. We're missing one potentially, but I mean that's wanting cream, yeah. Like we're in the window now. We're in the window now, and a lot of cracks show. Those cracks show when you lose a game, especially like if we had lost a close game. You know what? Sweet, we take the loss. You just move on. But it's the way we just capitulated. The way we just shut the bed was just no good. And the fact that we've done it twice in less than 2 months, again, like, this is what I mean. Like, I wasn't concerned after the Sydney one. I'm more concerned now. It has to be mental. It has to be.
I don't know.
It's between the years but also I think we've also been pretty blessed with the hard work and the sort of the efforts, and the role players and the young players all stepped up in recent weeks, and we've said, we started talking about depth and these guys are best 22 and whatnot, and then as soon as a loss like this happens, obviously it as you said, it shows some of the cracks. So I think some of these players, there were a lot of plays that were very off, like there was that one with Cowan were coming out of defense. I don't know what he was doing with it. He was just sort of mucking around with it, and I think he's turned it over. Williams had a good first quarter, but there was.
Did you see the Williams one?
Did you brain fade? Yeah,
I laughed. Yeah. I was laughing. You can ask the boys. I was.
So it was. I just penciled it down to, wow, this is not our night, right? Like this is. So you got role players, young player, like a lot of players had moments that they didn't take. And I felt that combined with once Sweatering got that corky and went off, we were at sea, right? And to Hogan's credit, he put it all over Kemp, right? Kemp, for me, outstanding individual talent, great with spoiling, whatnot, can't take the tall forwards, right? For me, I don't talk about Caleb Marchbank, but is he better suited for those type of players? Like Young for me, yeah. So
yeah,
we have a severe single player dependency in that key position defender spot with Weeders, and it was highlighted, unfortunately for us, many times, but a very vivid time. I'll take you back to 2022, Carlton Collingwood. Weeders goes off injured that game. Mason, I know, mid-year, but Mason Cox, we made him look like an All-Australian.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you go back to that game and the run of games after that, and we missed the finals by percentage, right? It's the single-player dependency on Weeders. He goes down with a cork. We capitulate in defence. We look at sea. So, I guess long-term planning is going to be pretty essential for that position, that spot, because Lewis Young showed it early. I don't think he's that guy, though, now, unfortunately. I hope he can turn it around. But in terms of those tall forwards, Marchbank v. Kemp, who do you go?
Mm.
I don't think Kem can
What?
play on the taller forwards.
What were you going to say, Liamos?
I can't even remember, bro. Just say
Sorry.
something.
Chinkota had a quiet one too.
But he's
Yeah,
been
well,
putting people putting in
was on
his, in his
Caniglio,
page for
wasn't
week
he?
after week.
Yeah, I think he was on Caniglio.
I think
Yeah.
him and he got out early and then he moved.
Mm.
It's,
I'm not concerned. Sorry I'm just not worried. Like, I know we're talking about the effort and whatnot. There's a couple of individuals. We talked about Charlie, but I'm not too worried. Like, this mixture was not right in the midfield. That's probably the biggest call out for me. I think TDK had his run, got a bit of a hit, and I think it was the perfect storm. TDK, Weeders, they shut down Newman, and they run
Main
over the top.
ingredients.
Usually I'm sort of doom and gloom, but I think if we can get our mids back to where it needs to be, and definitely Hewitt is definitely in best 22. But whatever Vossi is doing, I'm actually trusting the process.
Yeah,
I'm not
of
worried.
course you trust the process. Yeah.
I'm not worried in individual performances. I think the crew that we've got is going to gel and be a champion team as opposed to champion players, right? But something wasn't right in the midfield, and I think it all sort of crumbled at the right time for GWS to run over the top. But yeah, we sort of went into our shells a little bit. And did we go into preservation mode? Maybe a little bit. Did we have a bit of PTSD on the ground and go, shit, here we go? Don't know. But yeah, I'm not too worried.
Ultimately, it just seemed like GWS wanted the win more than what we did. And I think that
Playing for this season.
There has to be some truth to that because they were playing for the season. Now they've got themselves back in the 8. With some of the other losses, thankfully, Collingwood is now out of the 8. Collingwood's out of the 8. Collingwood's out, you fucking idiots.
Tag my Uncle Sam's thing, please. Look at my Uncle Sam, please.
Smiling. I kind of did, don't I?
Love Mac.
That's fantastic.
I'll
Good
put
old
some blue on
Shout out
for
to Love
for the preview. But yeah.
That fourth reminded me of the Geelong game from earlier in the year.
Yeah, it was very similar. Couple goals late.
Too late.
Yeah.
Making the scoreline look
False hope.
Reasonable.
False hope. But it's good for our percentage. It was good for our percentage. It was good that we didn't lose by 40 or 50, which we probably deserved to, because we shut off in the second and third quarter. So anyway,
it's funny
look,
when I did. Yeah, sorry.
you
You guys are so delayed for me. So I'm just interrupting everyone. When I've done my premiership predictor, premiership, ladder predictor. Sorry,
Ladder
premiership.
predictor.
Sorry, Georgie. When I did my ladder predictor, I actually penciled that game in as a loss against GWS. I had us losing that one. I've got us going on a bit of a run, but I mean, we should have won, right? 7 goals up. You should win when you're 7 goals up, but I've been saying as well, it's not a bad time to take these lessons, to cop these lessons. I said it earlier as well. We had second place locked away for the week. So maybe it was the time to tinker, if you're ever going to tinker, during the season. I think we tinkered a bit too much. I think there's too much. Like always as a sub for me.
Yeah,
I'm a big believer in you don't put a forward as a sub.
That was a weird one.
Yeah, it's
That
strange.
was very weird.
It's not going to run through the midfield. If you lose a defender, you're cooked. Do you reckon Wiedering comes off the ground if we have Kennedy as sub? If Kennedy or Hewitt was sub? Do you think Wieders stays on the ground? It's all questions, Like, I don't know. Maybe we tinkered a bit too much. Because what if Wieders, hurt himself even more? He couldn't run. He was struggling when he was out there. So
He looked like he was limping all night.
He's always limping, but what's the camera on him?
It's almost happening every game, right? He grabs his leg, does something, starts limping, and then 5 minutes later he's gone up and sport the mark. But let's if you could remove one player from the game, right? Omit one player. Who would it be? Who was the main one for you that probably needs a break, needs a spell?
For me, Holland's definitely. I've been
Ollie, yeah,
saying Holland's for a while now, but nothing again. And I'm not having a hit at the guy. I think he's played 30 odd games and he's a kid. But I don't know. Maybe it's not him. Maybe he just needs a bit of support. Like Andy said at the start of the episode, that having 15 wingers probably wasn't the best selection. And he sort of it highlighted just how bad of a game he could have when there was that many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to go with him. Our best 22. You take him out, but Hewitt jumps in for me. But yeah, I don't know. If I was to say, but then again, like I think Motlop kicked 4 or 5 on the weekend. Does Motlop come in and Fantasia goes out too? Like there's a few. There's a few that need to sort of be looked at.
Yeah. For me, it's Ollie Hollands as well. I just feel like he's like lags when it comes to decision making, right?
High ping.
He's got dial up.
He's like 400 ping. Sometimes he just takes like half a second too long with the ball and gets pinged, or puts himself under pressure, or does something. And I don't know, maybe a break, give him a week break, or send him to the twos or something like that. I don't know, but I think Ollie's played a lot. Give him a break, and get someone else in. We have too many wingers. Got way too many wingers at the moment. Why not give one of them a break, and why not that person be Ollie Hollands? He's young, still got a whole career ahead of him. He is going to be a brilliant winger. He's got a tank like no other. But let him. Don't try and burn him out. Give him some time.
I'm gonna pivot a little bit differently and say Fantasia, noting he had a great game last week against the Tigers, but I think that was I don't want to call it a blip on the radar, but I feel like he had that great game. Again, it's Tigers. Good on him. Was right for him. I still think something I've lost. I think if you put them two together, I'm not saying they're like fly players at all, but I still think Hollands will give you more in any possible scenario and game than what Fantasia will, purely because of the run and the effort.
Percent, George. 100%, bro. Jeez, nah.
Yeah. So
can't compare.
In terms of what he's gonna give you, who's the one to like leave out of the side? Fantastic. Like again, noting last week's game was good. Something different. Try something different. Play in Hewitt. Have a small forward down. Right. Beat him in the midfield. The clearance work. If you're chopping and changing too much, I guess, and at the selection table, is this the? I don't know if Voss is experimenting. Is it the right game to try and experiment this game? I think it's time to. Well, I think Motlop will come in this week. I think he's had a run.
If he actually kicked 5 goals on the weekend, you have to bring him in.
I think this is the week.
Kick 4, I think. Yeah,
kick 4.
I think he had 4. Yeah, this is the week.
Got to bring him in.
Carl, who are you taking out?
Well, no, we always must have this debate of Ollie Hollands. Ollie Hollands, yes, he probably doesn't need a rest, but I'm taking out Fantasia. We need an electrifying forward. We need someone that's going to wow us.
X factor.
Have to. Motlop, you have to. I mean, how many games he had?
I'm putting my hand up, Carl. Sorry, just quickly, I just thought of something. Let's say Motlop wasn't ready to come in. There was no Motlop. Amal, you sort of alluded to the fact of something that why wouldn't we play Hewitt and Kennedy and rest one up forward?
Because let's just have them slow
rotate
forward.
them through the midfield.
They're too
Slow? They're not slow, bro.
Who's not slow?
Kennedy and Hewitt.
Yes, they are.
They're going to give you the more Fantasia's been giving you up forward. They get front and center. They can kick a goal. They can pick a mark.
They're slow. I'd rather have Chinkota up forward.
Yeah. He's playing a bit of a different role, but anyway. So Fantasia.
What about the forgotten man, Cunners? He had a good one on the weekend.
I reckon he's done.
Yeah.
Wait, did he play a good game?
He played a good game.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if they bring him in against the Doggies.
Who you got, Andy?
Yeah, if I take someone out, I'm probably not bringing Cottrell in. I think in hindsight, he needed to go through the VFL, just even one game, just get blood running through his legs. He was just way off. Cotters was way off, but man, I'd say Ollie needs a break. He just needs a circuit breaker. Just give him a week off, let him refresh. Maybe it's just weird, man. We had the bye 2 weeks ago. Like, what is? I don't know why he needs another week off, but whatever. Fantasia, bro. Fantasia. Those three for me, in an ideal world, will be able to rest Ollie. Cotters would have come through the VFL. Fantasia gets dropped, and Hewitt plays. In an ideal world, for me, I just think
Hewitt was doing well. He was doing well.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's come out of the side. I think he was doing well. So hopefully he comes back in. Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the collective, what the result means in the season. I'm quite optimistic, in fact. But I just think like we didn't get the mix well. There was a few things that worked against us. It was not our night, but the ladder is tight. The ladder is tight, so we can't afford, I guess, a couple more of these in the run-in.
Yeah,
because you look at the sides that are around us. I'm talking a little bit into the future now with ladder predictors and whatnot, but with the sides that are around us, your Frios, your Sydneys, Brisbane's coming in hot,
very hot,
finishing in the top four, and if you're third or fourth and you're travelling in that first week,
nice.
I think I've frozen.
Lost
Yeah, so if you come back.
Back to the Future.
Go back? I'm back? Yeah. So if you finish in the top four, third or fourth, and you most likely will have an interstate team in the top couple if we drop a few, you're traveling week one. Yes, double chance, but ideally you wanna stay here.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the ultimate goal, right? So it's not obviously wins and losses coming up to finals is important, but you really like catching Sydney might be out of reach now. I think if we beat GWS, we would have been like, yeah, we're a chance. They've gotten unlucky. Logan McDonald must hate himself right now as a Sydney player.
My multis hate him. I'm just saying,
you would think that first spot at the end of the home and away season is probably out of reach now. But second spot is where we want to finish. Third and fourth has to be out of the question because what is it? 1 plays 4, 2 versus 3. And if one of Freo or Brisbane, which I think are probably going to be the other two teams to finish in the top four, and we start to drop a couple of games and finish third or fourth, then we're either traveling to Freo or we're traveling to Sydney or Brisbane. So I don't think
I'm not scared of any, to be honest.
But I'd rather play at home.
Absolutely.
I'm not sold.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Andy. I'm not sold on Sydney finishing first. I think we're going to come out and win the next, 5 in a row.
You reckon?
They got Melbourne, they got Brisbane, they got Hawthorn, which is a danger game.
They got a tough run.
I think
they play Hawthorn in Tassie as well. I could be wrong, but I think you're right, Moose. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Sydney.
We've got to make the most of our opportunity though as well.
Yeah, that's why it burns me. I think that's why because we could have really made some ground on Sydney. So yeah,
our losses this year have been it's different this year. It's not like we expected to lose those ones. It's the frustrating Adelaide game. Just week on week, it gets me angrier thinking about it. Subscribing to us is cool. This one again, not in isolation, but there's been a few that are just, we've had some great wins, but some of the losses have just made you question a couple of things. But in saying that, how spoiled are we? Like at the start of the season, we're saying top four is the goal. I reckon we'll just finish just outside the top four. What on now? We're saying third and fourth is unacceptable. But absolutely, top four remains the goal. I think I back us, as Andy said, to take it on whoever comes. I think we've had that taste we've had that taste of September, and I think the boys are relishing that. So, they're called out by Jay Burgers. Swans percentage is massive. It really is 3 games.
Yeah.
It is. If you level them, you've got to get another one on top. So they're going to have to go on a pretty bad run, and we're going to have to just be unstoppable from here on to
Which I think we
out.
can be. I honestly think we can be.
Noting our run, yes.
Yeah, this is not just our run, but this is what I mean. Like, this is if we were going to lose a game, I'd rather lose the game with this kind of lesson now that we can attack the back end of the season now, the last few games, with that lesson in mind. So we know just how important it is to play 4 quarters, right? And the boys know, but it's good to get a reality check, like practical reality check, not just this might happen. No, this did happen. This is what happens when you don't turn up or you switch off a bit. So I think it's, like I said, I'm not worried, but for me, it's slightly concerning that it happened twice in less than 2 months. That's my only thing. So, like, I think we'll finish top 2. I think top 2 for us is done. I think we're capable of even finishing first because, like Moss said, I'm not sold on Sydney either. They lost to Freo at home. They lose to St Kilda here after being 5 goals up as well. Why isn't everybody jumping on Sydney after losing that? Why is it us? Because we sell papers.
Because we're Carlton.
We get the clicks.
Mate, Sydney, they don't even care about Sydney in their own state. On game day and the next day, go if you're in Sydney, get the paper, NRL. Oh yeah, Sydney Swans also played. They don't even care about it.
Whatever.
Oh, go walk through Sydney now and probably go tell them. They're like, who? What? Personal ladder? Really? I'm optimistic about the rest of the season. I think we've come out of a really tough period with a lot of great wins, and to be in the position we're in now, a lot of the injury concerns are alleviated. We've got a good run, and I think we've done a bit of tinkering. You know who you want in your midfield mix. You know what the repercussions are with playing, different mixes and whatnot. And I'm going to back him. I'll talk about it in the preview, but I'm going to back Charlie to have his biggest game of the year on Saturday. Cannot wait. Hey, Cripper's 200th, yeah? It's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's going to be almost a sellout. I know we'll cover it in the preview, but apparently it's going to be a in-demand game.
Cripper's a star, bro. Like, can we, we've been quite negative tonight, but what Cripper was able to do on his own, pretty much, like, great effort. That goal he kicked, that running goal, it reminded me of something. Do you remember his goal? 2019,
Brizzy
against 2019. No. I'm gonna keep talking. I'll find it.
If it's the Port one, there was the Port one where he's weaving in and out. There was the Collingwood one in 2017. He's had a few, geez. But whilst you find that, Andy, don't want to jinx it as well. And they were calling it out, the commentators. His accuracy, he's vastly improved his accuracy as a set shot in front of goal. I think he was coming into the game, he was 11 goals 2, I think it was. So, mate, kudos to him.
His goal,
fast as well.
2019 against Collingwood, running goal with Hutto in the commentary box. Hutto was like, hold your breath, breathe. Oh, bro.
How good.
What a buzz. That's a testament, too, to how good commentary used to be even 5 years ago compared to now.
What's wrong with BT? What's wrong with BT, bro?
BT.
That's your mate. But Cripper, bro, honestly, what a man. Just putting the team on his back week in, week out. What a man. We're so lucky to have him as captain. We really are.
We're so lucky to have him. If we don't have Cripps, we'll be about 16th on the ladder.
Relax.
I almost want to go back. I want to go watch that goal down, but it'd be nice to overlay it. But, mate, no, that commentary, you're right. I think rest in peace, Clinton Gribus was one of my favourite callers of footy. I think it's been about 15, 16 years now. He could probably still do a better job than BT at the moment. So
You know what? One of the commentators on Saturday night just kept saying, and they were 39 points up, and they were 39 points down, bro. Shut up. We know. Cook me, bro. Cook me. Like, I'm watching my team get belted, and this guy kept reminding me. Done my head in.
A bad loss, yes, but in the grand scheme of things, probably not much to be concerned about just yet. We still sit second on the ladder, and we've got a relatively easy run home. Relatively easy. I'm not going to say.
I don't think there's any easy games, man.
Relatively.
I don't think any game is easy.
I mean, we've got North, we've got West Coast Eagles,
Port's
Port,
been in pretty good form. West Coast over there is no walkover.
Port and Collingwood will be challenging, but I think we've got enough firepower to take out North and West Coast, regardless of where we play them. Nevertheless, a top two finish, possibly even one, according to Mus, possibly even top spot. Let's see how we go for the remainder of the season.
home.
Now,
Mus is overdosing on shit.
Let's get on with the votes. 1 vote, 2 votes, and 3 votes. For all those watching along, let us know who gets your votes in the loss against GWS. George, I'll throw it to you first.
This is a really hard one because I haven't got my votes prepared, to be honest. I'm just going to have a look now through, and I'll say I'm going to give one to Kennedy. He kicks a couple of important goals when it counts. He did have a couple of misses at pivotal points just to try and stem the momentum that GWS was bringing. But I'll give one to Kennedy. He battled, done well, kicked a couple of good goals, and I was a little bit iffy on him a couple of weeks ago, but he's played a couple of really good games. I'll give him one purely because this is going to be a very hard week. 2, I'm going to give to Harry Mackay. Harry Mackay kicking 5 straight. It's a good night for him. I think we gave Harry all 3 when he kicked. How many did he kick against Brizzy? 3, 4? I know it's a different type of game. It's a different type of game. Harry kicked 5 straight. I'm going to give him 2 votes. Good on him. I'm wrapped for him. Because the spotlight and the conversation will be very different had it have been 2-3. And he's not taking his chances. So good on him. 3 to Wetman. 3 to Wetman. The running goal, the way at which he breaks away from packs, the speed is so beautiful to watch, right? So he's not just that guy that gets the handball out and his job is done. Because he's getting belted in the midfield. He's the one breaking away from packs, which is an absolute sight to behold. So 33 touches, 2 goals. What did he go at? 82%. 21 contested possessions. So he's in the thick of it as always. 3 to Wetman. And I think he got a few coaches' votes as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the 1 vote come Brownlow night for this game. So that's me. Who's going next?
Yeah, I'll go. It's funny, George, you didn't even have yours ready, and they're pretty much identical to mine, so I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to still give one to Kennedy. I think what he was able to do, and I think he hit the scoreboard, and he probably played his role and Hewitt's role in one. He was pretty good considering, and I'm going to give the 2 to Wetman, not the 3. 33 touches, as George said.
Hold on. You know what that means. Everyone prepare yourself for Moses 3. Hold on. This needs a drum roll. Oh, my God.
Let me finish with Wetman first. He's hit the scoreboard hard now. Like, you're going to get 2 or 3 goals, maybe not 3, 1 or 2 goals from him every week now. He's consistent, which is really good. And he's damaging now, which he never was. And who's next?
Go on.
Yes, I'm going to eat my words because he has probably, in my book, in the last 5 or 6 games, probably been our best player, bar Wetman. He's doing it all, and it's being highlighted because of how weak and piss poor Charlie has been. I'm not saying he's piss poor. I'm just saying his performances have been.
Careful.
Harry's doing it all. He absolutely is. He kicked 5 straight. Harry Mackay kicked 5 straight. I think it was 91% disposal efficiency and spent 20% of his time in the back line. So, don't know what else I can say. 3 votes, Harry Mackay.
Nice.
Go.
Yeah.
Thanks, George.
Mine are identical to Georgie, but obviously Kennedy won. But we forget last week that Kennedy come off with that knee injury, and everyone was saying, "Oh, he's gone 6 to 8 weeks."
Yeah, man.
And then he comes out the week after, and he has a game like that, which is was great to see. And then Carrie McKay with 2, and some from 50. I think one was from 50. Great set shot. I was like, he's not kicking this, but proved me wrong. 5 straight, great, and wet man. Never disappoints, man. You know what you're going to get from week in, week out. So, Chris.
You're gone. You're a bit of a wet man with a congestion this week, it sounds like.
I'm wrecked, man. I'm absolutely thrashed.
He's a wrecked man. Hey, Mus, you're even your biggest fans. You're throwing them off. So shout out, Selena. Mus being so optimistic is leading me out.
Too much legit, as Carl said.
My votes, I think I'm going identical to Mus. Kennedy 1, Cripper 2. I just think he's a star, bro. He's a star. And Harry, do what very good. To do what Harry did, with all the pressure and with his partner in crime not firing, mate, that's good. Imagine he had a teammate that tried. So, yeah. Amal?
Can't say that.
Before you go to Amal, just while I remembered, it was one of the funniest videos I've watched. But how good Toby Green in the umpire's mic. That
the umpire.
So after he smashed Kemp, was it him? I think it was him that got him.
Yeah.
And they're calling the whistle, injured player on the field, and the commentators are having an argument about, is it a head knock? Should they even stop play? Even they were agreeing with Toby, but the umpire saying injured player on the field, and Toby's, he gives a fuck if he's injured. And then the slight delay, and the umpire, I give.
Yeah, that was the best part of the whole thing. I give. I love Toby Green, man. Toby Green is one of my favorite footballers outside of Carlton. I fucking love everything about that guy. He's so good, man. Who gives a fuck if he's injured, bro? That's just true. Yes.
How good. I give. Sorry, Mark. Go on.
No, all good. Mine are going to be 1 to Kennedy. I'm going to give 2 to Wetman, and I'm going to give my 3 to Mackay, just because he kicked 5. Yeah, I thought Mackay was brilliant. He's been really, really good. And
I don't think we're talking enough about him winning the Coleman. He's a smoker.
Only a few short.
6 or 7 goals away.
Let him in.
Hogan did himself a favour. He's got himself up to second now after the weekend.
That's the answer. That's when Charlie's going to pull the finger out when Harry levels with him. And he's going to be like, no. That Carlton have already booked and paid and designed in China the back-to-back T-shirts and the bar runners and all the merch about the triple back-to-back Coleman. He's going to take it personally.
I've come to terms that both of them cannot play good football together. Sorry.
No, they can.
Wait. Consistently. Not, they can't.
Yep.
Not, consistently, you mean, I assume.
Subtle.
Well, no.
We'll go with that.
Do you mean that if one's having a good game, the other can't?
Yeah.
Because they've combined for 10 a few times, obviously, and had great games. But
Very rare.
Charlie's
rare.
Harry's kicked 2.
Bro, they can. And Charlie's lazy sometimes, man. See the way Jesse Hogan played on the weekend? That's what Charlie should be doing every week.
And he can do that.
But he
Hogan
doesn't.
had a cracker of a game.
No one's telling you to kick 5 a game, but show effort. Lay a tackle. You know?
Anyone jump into Lebowski? Did you guys hear Slovo going off for Carlton AFL 369? Anyone watch it?
Yeah, Slovo can suck a nut.
He's Jared, he's coming out. He's ranting and raving half the time, mate. He's bloody and how good was Beveridge on him the other night? That was great.
Yeah.
But he's an absolute I'm not gonna say.
They're both flogs.
Yeah.
All right, gents. This week is done and dusted. We move on from GWS. We've got the Bulldogs coming up, who have just been absolutely pumped by Port Adelaide. But we're gearing up for Cripper's 200th. I think, we'll save obviously the conversation and the preview for the preview on Thursday night. But if there's ever a game where every single player on that list needs to get up, it's this one. It is your captain's 200th. This guy he's poured his blood, sweat, and tears into this footy club. Everyone gets up for him, not just the players, but the club, the staff around him, and us as fans. I think we all have a duty. We're going to be at the game. We're going to be on level 1. I think it is. I'm really, really excited for this game. The crowd is going to be insane. And I think we're going to be in for a very, very special performance from the Carlton Football Club. And if they don't, then I think, who knows, questions might be asked. Well, let's see. Preview will be Thursday, 9 p.m. And before we wrap it up, George, I'll quickly throw it back to you.
Yes, a couple of things. Firstly, there's been above 90 or so in the chat all night. Only about 40 likes. Hit the like button. If you don't hit it on the way out, hit the like button. Jump on every device and hit it. We appreciate you guys jumping in.
If you don't, Charlie won't have a good game.
If you love seeing the comments and people catch up on it tomorrow and whatnot and give us their thoughts. If you're catching up later, hit the like button. Comment. Actually, jump in the comments. I know a lot of people that do watch it later. It's great when you jump in the comments with your thoughts as well. We always love reading them. Reply to as many as we can as well. So please do. But yes, as always, a big shout out to our sponsor, bluescrypto.com and Ur Koken, who leads that up. So if you enjoy investing, new to it, seasoned at it, a really, really cool fan token from Ur Koken. Bluescrypto.com, really exciting opportunities there with the Web3 marketplace, trading in the fan token on that marketplace as well. Ur hosts an Ask Me Anything every Wednesday night on his channel. You can get through and all the details and all the enhancements on bluescrypto.com. Thank you to bluescrypto.com. Thank you to Ur. Get around him.
Gents, it's been a pleasure. I will see you all on Thursday night for the preview. And until then, before we wrap it up, George, we need you to say one thing, please.
So, I just did. It's like on cue. I said it. I only say it for you now, Selena, because I have that message. Get around him. Yeah, I'm gonna add it one more time. But thanks, boys. Thanks everyone in the chat.
Excellent. Until Thursday night, it is sayonara from the Monday Blues.
Sick now.